Hi guys, this is Dormouse03. Welcome to my Dishonored 2 walkthrough for the achievements and trophies Shadow, Clean Hands, and Flesh and Steel. This is mission 7, A Crack in the Slab. So this mission is really cool. I like this mission a lot. It's one of my favorites, but it can be pretty frustrating, particularly when you are trying to not get seen and not kill anybody. This mission is going to be the same for everybody because we are not able to use powers in this entire level, and so it's not gonna make a difference whether you're playing this with powers or without. You should still be able to follow this. So once you get down here, there will be a little scene there where you are talking to the outsider and you get this heart thing that allows you to see through time, which is pretty friggin' sweet. So you want to be in the past at this point so that you can go through right here, and it'll put you on the other side of the locked door in the past. I'm sorry. You want to be in the present so that it will allow you to go through the locked door in the past. And then you just want to wait for these two people to do their thing. But what happened was they didn't initiate their dialogue or whatnot because I wasn't in the past. But now they have initiated their dialogue, I do believe. And so you can look through this keyhole just to make sure, but I believe that they started their pattern now, which is nice. And so you just want to wait for them to get finished talking, and then they will both walk away from you, and you can quickly go into the past to move through the door, and then head right back into the present so that nobody can see you as you move forward. And the first thing that we're going to be trying to do is to get the key that we need to go through the door. And it's funny, you want to make sure that you know kind of exactly where you're going and what you're doing, because if you don't, then it's going to be frustrating trying to get through this mansion because it's confusing. Like half of your screen is like looking one way and half of your screen is looking the other way. So you really want to know your way around this place. As soon as that guy turns around, put yourself back into the past, head through that door, go immediately once you walk through it back into the present. Otherwise people will start to see you. And then you want to head underneath this table and position yourself to pick up the key. Go back into the past, pick up your key. And whenever it's doing this, whenever it's like blacked out or grayed out in the little mirror thing, that means that you're obstructed on one side or the other from being able to switch time periods. So you just need to like move to a spot where that isn't blocked out so that you can move back into the present. And of course, all of the buttons are the same, and so you end up shutting the timepiece, opening up the timepiece. You head into this vault, and if you go back to the past, you are able to loot a couple of things. There's a painting you can grab, and most importantly, you can knock down this statue thing so that you can move through here in the present. That will make it so that it is no longer blocking your way out of this room, which is pretty cool. Also some money you can grab. I think the level design on this is just so cool. I really like the idea of things interacting with each other through time. And I think that this was a really, really neat mechanic that I haven't really seen before. You know, I've seen games where you move through time, but I've never, not that I can think of, seen anything where you can see both time periods at once and swap between them. So I really, really loved this level. However, it is a pretty frustrating one when you're trying to do this particular run, so I hear you if you're frustrated with it. So the next thing that I'm going to do, I think, is optional. I don't think that you need to go through here, but I am going to do it because I'm going to show you how to get some sleep darts there if you aren't full, which is nice. Head back into the present, head back into the past, and you want to burn this wolf's body. And this is a cool way of interacting between the past and present. The body of this dog is the thing that was making the blood flies appear in the present. And so if you burn that in the past, then in the present, that whole blood fly nest isn't there. And you can look and see the combination on that safe and then open it up, which I think is just, it's fantastic. I love the design of this level. I just can't say enough about it. It's one of the things that I think makes this game at least on par, if not a step up from the original Dishonored for me, is this level right here. Just absolutely, absolutely love it. Although why they had to make the same button for every mechanic is beyond me. Okay, so then you come back underneath here and you can get out in the past. And then you can use the present to be able to get through this door. Maybe we did need to do that in order to get a key to open that door. I thought that that was an optional thing, but it may not have been. We may needed to get the key there. So you come into the present, and there are some dogs around here, which are just irritating. And so I picked up that bottle, and this is one of the only times that I'm going to use sound to distract enemies. So I threw the bottle there. I got all of the dogs' attention behind me. And then I'm going to carefully make my way over up this ramp of dirt and on to the next level. And that's one of the hardest parts of this level done. Getting around those dogs is kind of tricky. And so now we have a weeper on the other side of those blood fly nests. This is where we're ultimately going. We're trying to get the code for that door, but we don't have it yet, and so we need to get out through a door that's behind these blood fly nests. But they're in the way. The weeper's in the way. So I come down here to the lower level and then just kind of wait, chill out here. You probably want to make a safety save when you're up there. There he is. And we want to wait until he starts walking over and then jump up behind him and knock him out. Luckily, in the present, there aren't very many enemies, and so you don't have to worry too much when you're in the present about getting seen. It's when you're in the past that you got to worry a lot more. But in the present, there's a lot of obstacles. Whereas in the past, there's not as many. So we're going to tear down all these nests. Flail the sword. Tear them all up. And then you want to make sure you're positioned behind this guard. And then do a quick transition into the past. And head through the door. Which is the first half of this mission done. Pretty much. And now we're in the back courtyard. And we just need to get over to where our dude is waiting. We have some blood flies here, which is what was blocking the door, which is why you can't get through the door in the present. So be careful about them. There's going to be a guard down here in the past, so we want to move along here in the present. Come around here. There's going to be dogs roaming around, so you don't want to get down on the lower section. There are also blood flies in the present, so we transition to the past. We come over here, we watch him to make sure he's not going to be in our way, not going to see us, we're not going to be in his line of sight. And when we think he's got his back turned, we're going to sneak down there really quickly and look at his ledger, which is going to give us the code that we need to the door. We're also going to loot his pouch, because of course we are. And so that's going to give us the combination that we need for the door. Again, as in all of these levels with all of these combinations, that is going to be random, and so that's why we had to come here and get the combo instead of just putting it in. So we are still in the past, walking along, and then we can transition to the present to avoid the guard that's patrolling right here, and then we're gonna head on out of this part of the level. So again, if you stay down on the lower level, you got dogs and things to deal with, which I think are not particularly nice. I was looking for a way to get back upstairs because I was hoping to go back through the door that we went in initially, but without powers, I just don't know that that's possible. So we went ahead and went in the door they wanted us to go in. And so now you're blocked off from being able to transition here. And so what you want to do is kind of wait and crouch. Make sure you crouch so that you're not alerting everybody like I almost did. Crouch and peek out and see when these guys have their backs turned. And then you just need to be able to walk a little bit forward, and then you can transition again to the present. And so right now we are trying to get back up to the top level to where that door was, which is why I was thinking that it would have been great if we could have gotten back upstairs when we were outside, but that just was a no-go for me. So I adjusted as necessary. And so I come up to the very top of this pile of dirt, as far as you can go, and then I'm just going to watch this guy's pattern right here. That guy isn't looking at us, really. It's this guy that we want to kind of worry about. And I'm just waiting for him to start his pattern again. We want to make sure that that guy's still not paying attention, and then we watch this dude. And as soon as he turns around, I'm going to transition real quick back into the past and move forward through the door. Anytime now, buddy. Anytime. The world is watching. Come on. You can do it. There you go. You want to turn around. There he goes. Finally. So now we can transition, get around behind him. That guy was sort of alerted, but I moved away quickly enough that he wasn't seeing us. We have some alerts, but that's okay. We're moving straight up here to this doorway, and we're going to transition back into the present, and that way anybody who's alerted is now not going to be able to see us and is confused. And so now we have these two doofuses in front of the door here who are trying to, like, break through. And we need to deal with them without alerting any of the other guards on this level. So waiting and waiting and waiting for a good opportunity here. And so that guy gets up, they have a little bit of a conversation, and then they're going to do a bit of a little patrol here. The one guy goes over and waits by these closet doors, and so this is a good opportunity to take them out, because the one guy's looking away from you, the other guy is resting up against the wall, and it's a nice spot for you to divide and conquer. So we wait for him to kind of step out, and then we're gonna go knock him out and kind of drag him back into this closet area here. Now you want to be careful when you lay him down. You don't want to lay him down too close to the doors, because there's some glass there that can break. I know, because I've done it. And then everybody gets alerted, and it's just not a good time. So then we're going to come. I was looking for, there's another guy on the left, or not the left, the right, the right hallway that patrols back and forth. And I kind of looked to make sure that he wasn't looking at us before I grabbed this second dude. And there he is. So you can see him right there. And now as soon as he turns around, he should be the only other person that can see us. And so as soon as he turns around to walk back the other way, we're going to come over here to the code door. We're going to transition back into the past. We're going to look at our code to make sure that we know what it is. And then we're going to enter it as quickly as we can. If you see that you are starting to get noticed or something, if you get an alert at all, just quickly transition back into the present and wait for them to go away. But hopefully you will have enough time to enter that code really fast, and then that is effectively the mansion section done. There's going to be what is not really a cutscene, but it's effectively a cutscene where you get to see what's going on with Delilah and why she's immortal and all that stuff, all that good exposition for the narrative. And just, I don't know, it's really cool. I really liked this. I really liked the way that they tied the story together, and the way that it intersects with the DLC from the first game. Just thought that it was super good. So there's nothing really to talk about here. Hopefully you're able to replicate what I did with this level. It can be pretty frustrating. Make sure that you're making some safety saves, just in case people do things a little bit differently than they did for me. I ran through it a couple of times to make sure that it was replicable. So hopefully you guys won't have an issue with it, but you never know. Like, I always get worried when I make these things that people aren't going to be able to follow them. I'm going to get 10,000 comments of, it didn't happen way for me the way that it did for you. You suck. And it's just like, you can't account for every single variable when you do these things a lot of times, because sometimes things are just random. And you kind of have to figure out what seems like the best path at the time. And so it's possible that what I did won't work because of whatever random chance that your enemies just don't get set up the way that my enemies were. I think for the most part, everybody's on a set pattern in this thing. And unless they get off for some reason because, you know, they got alerted somewhere, or, you know, you threw something, or because you left a door open and now they're like going to investigate it. Unless something like that happens, then it should run pretty much the same way. It ran the same way for me when I did it through a few times to make sure that the path worked. But I don't know. If you have problems, if you have questions, let me know. Let me know if it works for you. I really hope it does, because this level, it's extremely satisfying to be able to run through it as cleanly as I showed you guys. Because it's a hard level, and I think, at least for me, it was disorienting the first couple of times I played through it, because I was like, I didn't really know where to go and how all of the hallways connected together, and then you get to a door that's locked and you're like, shoot, I don't have the key, and this, that, and the other. And it's just really, there's something really satisfying, at least for me, about this level, where when you know where to go and what to do and how to transition back and forth between time to make it effective for you, it's just immensely satisfying to get through. So once we come out of the room, we can transition back to present day, and all we need to do is get to the exit. So I'm concerned about the dogs that were down there. I don't see them. I'm not certain where they went, which is slightly terrifying, but we're going to drop down, and you need to go out that door there that I was looking at a second ago. You can't go out this one. This is not the right way to go, because you can't get to where you need to be from here. I was heading back I was backtracking when I didn't need to be. Which is okay, because I needed some food, so we'll just pretend that that was what I was going to get, was food. But no, really, you just need to head back through the other way. And so be careful here in case the dogs are still roaming around. I didn't see them, so either they disappear or they roam around somewhere where they were out of the way. So you just want to head through that door, and then we are out of here. Transition back to the present. Nothing can see you. And you are home free to the exit of this mansion. You do have a little bit left, though. And it's going to be more or less complicated depending on whether you knocked a bunch of people out when you came through here in Mission 6. So before you do that, you're going to have a cutscene that I am going to trim out when you open this door. It was fairly lengthy, so I got rid of that. And then you're going to be in the Dust District, going back the same way that you came at the beginning of Mission 6. And so, as I said, if you knocked out a bunch of people in this area when you came through the first time, you're not going to have too many people to deal with. If you didn't do that, then there's going to be some people. And for me, I only knocked out 3 dudes. And so there are some people down here, but I disabled the wall of light, so it isn't a problem. And we're just waiting for these people to move out of the way. How he saw me right there, is just one of the more frustrating aspects of this game. Because I was only out of cover for about half a second. But when people move and have their backs turned, you just want to come out and around this way, make sure nobody's looking at you, and head straight on to the stairs over here. And once you get about right here, you're good to go. And so that is Mission 7, guys. One of probably the more difficult ones. And so be proud of yourself that you made it through. When you talk to Sokolov here and in the level. You're going to be once again looking at your stats, making sure you got the merciful and ghostly boxes checked, which you should have, and can look forward to only 2 more missions, guys. We are so close to the end of this game. I'm super excited. So thanks for watching. I hope that it was helpful for you, and I will see you in Mission 8.